All right, we're live. Welcome to Living Out Louder. I'm your host, Dave Vargas. We are emanating from New Bedford, Massachusetts. Episode 8, Secrets of the Subconscious Mind. You won't get more spiritual than this tonight. If you are a fan of human behavior, if you study the mental sciences, spirituality in any form, you're going to want to really tune in to all of tonight. What I'm going to reveal tonight was secrets of the subconscious mind. I'm going to reveal why you do what you do, the reason why you behave the way you do, also how you can also shift that to get different results. You want to really come to understanding of how the mind works, because if you do not, you're left to old programming, you're left up to outside influences to direct you into how you're going to think, and in turn, how you're going to behave. And so I do want to set the table up for you. Okay? When we think of the brain or the mind, and those are two different things. Okay? The brain and the mind, two different things. But the mind, it is such an all-encompassing spiritual part of us. Our link to the infinite, if you will. We can't picture that. To picture your mind, back in the 30s, okay, a psychologist came up with Dr. Thurman Fleet in the 1930s. He came up with what they call the stick figure. It's something that so that you can compartmentalize the mind. We're going to split that in two. Okay? Just think of the top part of your head. The top part is your conscious mind. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to set the table up for you to easily understand why you do what you do and why it seems you can't get out of your own way. Your conscious mind, that's the top half of your mind, and that's the part of you that can entertain anything that it chooses. It is also the rational. We can entertain intellectual ideas. Something comes in, we can ponder it, we can accept it or reject it. We don't have to, keep it. We can discard it. It's the part of us that also reacts to things in a way where, we can intellectualize it. If we're crossing the street, we hear a car coming, we know to immediately get out of the way. We just instinctively know that. But also, you have the subconscious mind. That's under you. Okay? That's the emotional side of you. It is also the part of you where all your beliefs lay. When you were entertaining thoughts, when you had experiences all through your life, and through repetition, and also emotional involvement. Hear that again. When you're entertaining experiences through repetition and through emotional involvement, high emotional involvement, it is now going to be locked into your subconscious mind. I said earlier, the conscious will accept or reject anything. Comes in, you can reject it. The subconscious mind will only accept. It will never reject. Whatever through repetition with emotional involvement, it is now locked into your subconscious mind. This is why you behave the way you do. This is the reason why, if for whatever reason we feel that we have to get our physical fitness up to par, have to lose maybe a few pounds. Maybe we saw the doctor recently and they suggested, I think you need to get a little more healthier. I think maybe you have to lose 10 pounds. You get really excited about a new idea. You're really behind it. You plan on Monday for the new thing, for the new part of your life. Monday comes, bam, no gym, not eating clean, not eating healthy. What has happened? Excitement was up there. Also had professional medical personnel suggesting that you need to get healthier. But then what happens? Nothing. You see, that is the subconscious at play. Your self-image is locked in. It will never rise above whatever it is that you think that you are. Your ego, a false sense of who you are. This is why it will fight you. This programming, this is a supercomputer program. Your brain, your mind is the hardware. Your beliefs is the software. If you look at any device, that's the programming. It will only be that way. The good news is this programming can be changed. The notions that we hear as we get older, the ego wants to come into play. I'm so old. I'm too old. You can't teach a new dog tricks. I am what I am. This is who I am. All false. That is not who you are. Past experiences is not your identity. Past experiences are just that. Past experiences. We've learned from them. Some were marvelous, some were exciting. Some were not so good. Some may even have been traumatic. But it is not who you are. Who you are is an infinite being with infinite potential. You see, a computer may be programmed. It will never rise above that. It can only perform the way it's programmed, and it will never be anything else. When we look at all of nature, there is such order all around us. All these beautiful laws that we have, these universal laws, has brought such harmony, peace to all of nature. You look at an acorn, and if it's buried in the soil and with the right particles, with the right vibration, the frequency that matches the acorn Once that hits, the shoot comes out, the roots give way, it starts sprouting up from the soil. You start seeing branches, and now you have a giant oak tree. It will be nothing else but that. It was programmed to be that. You also look at a carrot. I think it takes about 70 days if you plant a carrot seed into the soil. What's going to come up? A carrot. It's not going to be anything else. But what's funny is our lack of attention, our lack of focus. One day we want to be an acorn, the next day we want to be a carrot. And those that we just, the carrot, the acorn, that's all it can be. It's not going to be anything else. It cannot be anything else. You're programmed to anything that you want to be. You have the marvelous gift, the gifts of creation, to choose to be anything that you want. You can choose to have any experience that you want in your life. It's just lack of imagination, lack of focus, lack of attention. We were given such creative, higher mental faculties of our mind. But yet, on our conscious mind, the top mind, we're looking only at the facts of what our five senses tell us. The outside antennas, as only what the facts are. We have that old line, we want to, well, I'll believe it when I see it. We want to see it first. And that's such a gross misunderstanding of faith, of gross misunderstanding of what's possible. It's really, you will see it only when you believe it. How do we do this? How did those programmings get in there? Those limited beliefs get programmed into your subconscious mind. Since birth, up till 5, 6 years old, we're a sponge. What we see all around us. We're looking and we're absorbing all the data, all the information of those around us, of how they're handling and expressing health, love, relationships, affection, communication. Hereditary plays a minor part in that. But its environment is how those negative, limiting beliefs have come into your mind. This is so important to understand. Some of it may even sound left field. Some of it may sound foreign to you. But it is so essential to understand. To get to the next results in your life, it's going to require brand new thoughts, brand new programming. It's going to take you to rise and build a new image. a new self-image. And because we will never, ever rise above the one that we've constructed inside our mind right now. Most of that image was built through our experiences, what data we felt that they were telling us, other people. We took people reacting out of their own projected fears. We took other people's lack of communication, lack of showing connection, oneness, love, valuing wealth, prosperity. And we took that as a character assassination. We took that as something that had to do with us. And that's just not true. Your subconscious mind, whatever belief that you have right now, it will be locked in there. It will fight you tooth and nail. And how it got there was through repetition. Repetition is the most powerful tool there is in learning. And so the good news is repetition got it there in the first place. And now it's going to take repetition of a new idea, repetition of new information. If someone wasn't a morning person, but they wanted to get up at 5 a.m. every morning, and they committed this, and they set their alarm, and after 90 days, they're going to suddenly be someone that loves waking up so early before everyone else does, listening to the birds chirping. It's going to fight that old paradigm that wants you, that old belief that wants you to just be a little more lazy, to grasp on and hold on to maybe 10 minutes of sleep. And for what? You get so much more done. You can choose to start your day and to look at the world with love. Give yourself more time to embrace the day. After 90 days of doing that, it will be now in your belief. It will now be in your subconscious mind. That's one of the many ways that you can do this. The subconscious mind in you is your most magnificent part of you. It is the most magnificent part because it is your direct link. It is your direct link to the infinite. So when you know what you want, do you know what you want? This is so brutally important. The decade is almost over. As this podcast is airing live right now, there's only mere weeks left in this decade. Brand new decade, 2020, is right around the corner. As I speak as well, we're in the last full moon of this decade, releasing so much energy, releasing so many things that have energetically have weighed you down. This is something that you can use as a springboard to catapult you to a brand new future that awaits you in 2020. But do you know what you want? And not in vague terms, not in I kinda, I would like a. What is I kinda? What is that? When you sit down with yourself and you know what you want and you remain faithful to that image in your mind, to that assumption, though at the moment it is denied by your senses. Again, your five senses are going to mislead you. Your five senses is going to only show you a tiny fraction of the truth, of what's really out there. But if you know what you want and you're remaining faithful of that image in your mind, the good that you desire, and at that moment, if it is denied by your senses and denied by reason, because when you think of something, when you have new ideas, you get really excited. You don't even know where these ideas came from. They're just coming out of the ether, and you get really excited, but you talk yourself out of it. Why do you talk yourself out of it? It's reason. We feel that whatever I decide upon, whatever new goal, experience that I want, that you have to figure it out first. That you have to figure out how to get it done before you commit to the idea. How terrible is that to live? How terrible it is to talk yourself out of a beautiful life, of beautiful new experiences. This is why we're here. We're here to express ourselves. And yet we just say we have no energy. Everything stays the same. Nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change if you keep with the old thinking that got you where you are right now. You need a new upgrade in your thoughts. Do not be determined to only choose goals or experiences based on if you think you know how to do it. If it excites you, if it's scary, go for it. And even if your senses are telling you that you don't even know how to get this done, if you persist in it, it will harden into fact. Now, what gets hardened into fact? What gets hardened into fact? Well, it controls the automatic behaviors of how we perform. What gets hardened into fact, it removes from an individual's consciousness that which is not related without the use of mental or emotional force. What this is saying is when you pick a goal, when you pick a brand new goal that you want to venture forth with, you want these new experiences to come into your life, and you persist in it. You're not going wishy-washy. You're not getting excited today, then it dies tomorrow. And maybe a few days later, you're trying to excite yourself back up again. You're going back and forth because you don't understand the creative process of the individual. We weren't taught these in school. We weren't taught this in public school of how we think. We weren't taught the most fundamental things of how to create, how to be better humans. We have to seek this information out for ourselves. And I do want to thank each and every one of you that's with me today. In this day and age, especially whether it's on Facebook, wherever you're watching this, our distractions are everywhere. We just want to keep scrolling. We just want to get distracted. We don't want to focus and look at the objectives. that we have to better our life, to better experiences to come into our life. You have to be the seeker of your own truth. You have to search out for people that's talking about this information. Work with them, friend with them. Watch programs like this. And not just once. Do it over and over and over again. But to get back, when you know what you want and you are remaining faithful to that, remaining faithful, it is going to control the automatic behaviors. It is going to make you behave and act in a different way. The frequency of thought will only match up with it what is on the frequency of the image in your mind. What is that saying? That things of a negative value, things that do not support your new idea, what does not support the image in your mind, your new goal, it is going to be gone. And you will not have to put any force behind that when you're only thinking of that new goal, when you're thinking of that new image in your mind. Faithful assumption is what level up a person's thoughts beyond limited thinking. Think of that. If we are only thinking of what has been, if we're only thinking that we can only do what we think we can do, we're not challenging ourselves. That's not even a goal. The only goals that we come up with or we even pursue is something that maybe we know that we can do if just we give a smidgen of effort. How much of you is going to grow? How much of your character is going to come up to the surface because of that? This is why you want to go for something that really makes you reach. You want to get the scary goals, the things that you have up until now have thought is impossible for you. Impossible actually means impossible. And this is live. I do want to make sure that if anyone, I do want to welcome you all watching right now. If you have any questions, please leave them in. Whether you're watching during the live or on the replay or during the watch party or on YouTube, I will answer every question as soon as I can. And I do want to thank you for this. This may not be the most exotic topic, but I love it. This is the only way that your awareness will grow is through study, through analysis. That is the opposite of ignorance. We don't know what we don't know. So some of this may even sound very new to you. Keep with it. You're going to hear new words, new concepts. Then you're going to start seeing that in other posts, in other literature. It's going to make you see things in a different way. Just like when you see your favorite movie, you haven't seen it for a very long time. But you did know that movie forwards and backwards. And yet you finally watched the new movie. It seems like there's a new scene in there. Almost like it was the bonus clip. But there was no bonus clip. You say, well, I don't remember this part of the movie. Because your awareness grew. You got a deeper meaning of what the director and the actors, producers were trying to portray. You came closer to the truth. You understood more. That is why studying every day is so very important. And assuming is very powerful. When you're assuming, you want to be living at the end, that you already have this goal that you're reaching for. Many of us are looking for peace, happiness, contentment. And we put the ending is when we'll change. When everything is right, when all of this lines up, then I'll be happy. Then I'll act a little better. Then I'll be a little bit more on my game. You have that happiness, that peace, that contentment is the decision right now to be so. The decision to be the person at the end of that goal. How would that person act? What is your goal? Do you have something for the new year to come up with? This is not resolutions. This is your goal card. This is something that are burning desires that you've been putting off, burning desires that you want that are above anything else in your life. Do you have that yet? Do not wait for the day before to put this down. Start tonight. Start right now. Grab a notebook. Grab a pen. Start writing. Take yourself very seriously. No one's going to take your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your desires more important than you will. You cannot wait for something to come to you. But when you now start to act and behave as the person that already completed the goal, the one that already lost the 20 pounds, the one that already was performing at a much higher level of excellence, how would that make you feel? We want these for a reason. Sit with yourself and imagine how that person's going to look. Imagine how that person's going to behave. Imagine that right now. And act like that person right now. Choose to act like that person right now. Any visionaries, anyone that has done anything of any significance that we cherish, we look up to, that give us such inspiration. They didn't act like that person when all of that came to them. They made a decision to be that way before it all. Oprah was Oprah before we ever knew who she was. She decided for herself, this is who I am. But didn't let the emotions wash that away, just like the water over a sand, and it's gone. We let our emotions get involved. We let events come in, the outside environment come in, dictate, wash that all away, and the next day we're gone. This is tricky work. This is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If this was easy, we'd have a world full of love, everyone standing in their highest truth, in their higher being. Not screaming at one another, trying to con one another. Instead of competing, we're creating. Show the world what's possible. Commit to yourself that you will put the work in. So if we assume, and we don't have any evidence to support it, assume it anyways. Assume that you are the person at the end of the goal. Assume that I am. Are what? Well, you name it. And having given it a name and given it a definition, remaining in it, you will resurrect it. If it takes 1,000 men to aid the birth of that state, 1,000 men will play their parts, and I do not have to go out and look for them. What is this saying? What is this saying? Because when you entertain these new thoughts, the frequency that matches it, the people, the places, and the events that are in that same vibration, that same identical frequency, are going to surround you. They're going to support the new vision. This is exactly why you do not have to know how to do it, how to do this new worthy ideal. That's what Earl Nightingale so eloquently said about goals. Goals of a worthy ideal, a worthy idea, a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Progressive. You don't have to know. What matches that frequency will come to you. What's on that frequency? That's where the law of attraction comes in. Like onto like will only attract to each other. But this is also why if you have a poverty mindset, if your mind is still thinking of limitation, if it's locked in that nothing can be done, that you will never change, your body will stay the same, your income will stay the same, your love life will stay the same, that there is no happy ending, guess what? What's like it will reveal itself all around you. You are never denied. You are never denied by God, by infinite intelligence. It will tell you yes. Each and every time. This is where the ask and it is given comes into play. I feel poor. I feel broke. Yes. Yes, you are. And I'm going to give you more experiences to support that, to show you that you're poor and that you're broke. I feel so alone. I don't think I'm made out for this love business. That I will never find someone for me, someone to complete me. And God will say yes. It will give you more experiences. Feel alone. To not feel the genuine, authentic affection and love from other partners. In fact, you will be surrounded by more people that feel alone and unsure of themselves. And you wonder why. You'll wonder why this is all that's in your life. And this is why it is imperative that you study. This is why I educated myself, because I didn't like who I was. I needed to understand why I was doing the things that I was doing. You can choose to remain in bondage, or you can choose freedom. You can choose to push your mind, your spirit to new heights. But what's like it will reveal itself to you. We are individuals made up of the conscious and the subconscious mind, as I started off in this program. Our subconscious mind is connected to the superconscious mind, otherwise known as the universal mind. What's the other word for universal mind? Does anyone watching that want to take a hint? The other word for universal mind could be divine intelligence, infinite intelligence, the universe, Buddha, Jehovah, Allah, God. That is where our subconscious is linked to the one mind. This is where we're all connected. This is where we're all one. This is where we're coming up and we're entertaining these ideas that just seem to come out of nowhere. You're doing whatever you're doing, and these brilliant ideas just come out of nowhere. Think for yourself right now. Where do you think those came from? The infinite knowledge, the one, the everyone, the everything that knows all, that has already had all the experiences in its knowledge, is going to share that with you. And that knowledge is infinite. Get out of the notion that you think that this divine intelligence, or God, is a person, is an entity that's separate, outside of you. This life force, if you will, permeates in all places at all times. And God will never do for you, only to and through you. Whatever you are entertaining on a consistent basis, it is going to be reverberating through you. And the subconscious mind is linked to the super consciousness, to the universal mind to support you. And the spirit of harmony brings forth those that are in the spirit of harmony. When you are now on a new level of vibration, a new thought. That's all we are, frequencies of vibration, positive vibrations, positive emotions that we're getting involved with. You're thinking of the experience that you want. You're getting supercharged. These are potent, high-level frequencies. Those only on that will come to you when you now begin to start sending love out. Those that are in the spirit of harmony will come forth. These imaginal acts, no matter if your senses want to talk you out of it, and they will. You have to be the master at the gate. It will talk you out of it. It will even talk you out of it right now, that this is not possible. What is this guy even talking about? And I'm talking about your magnificent mind. But the old limiting beliefs get in the way. Don't let them get in the way. When you have these new imaginal actions, you will see them in your mind. You're seeing yourself in it. Your behavior will change. You will dress different. You will walk different. The posture will even be better. If you walk in knowing you're no good, though, everyone is going to see you exactly that way. Nothing is in secret. They're picking up that vibration. You walk into any room, you have a meeting you want to attend to, an interview, a family gathering, a party that you're all anxious over. You're sending that forward, whether you know it or not. They will see you that way. But if you walk in the assumption that things are as you desire them to be, they're going to see you that way. As Neville Goddard would say, and this is life. This is how it is each and every time. But you have to also play your part. Up until this time, we were hoping things were going to come to us without any effort, without changing. We're hoping for the upgrade, excuse me, the upgrade of our life to come without no effort, without us changing. The upgrade, the results in your life is going to require an upgrade in your thoughts. This is where everything starts. You have to stop being the giver. Giving willingly on no card whatsoever has nothing to do with what anyone will give back to you. So practice this. This is another great secret. While you're in the presence of another, practice putting no labels on them. And you're going to allow infinite intelligence to express out from you and to materialize them into form in the spirit of harmony. This is the way every time. We dictate that. We stub our toe in the bed in the morning and we're out, oh, this is the day, this is how it's going to be all day. We decided that. Clothes are not right. Coffee spills on them. We're hitting a red light. Now we're screaming. I can't be late. I can't be late. I can't be late. And guess what? You're hitting every red light. You're behind every elderly person that's driving 10 miles an hour. The mood is getting progressively worse, is now on a lower vibration. You can see how the day keeps playing out this way. Have you ever had days like that? This is exactly why. You are the problem, but you are also the solution. Because mood materializes into people, environment, and the circumstances that reveal the mood within. Everything that is in front of us, all your dealings with people, customers, clients, work colleagues, they're never doing anything to you. They're revealing something about you. They're revealing more about you to yourself. And that mood will reflect back to them. It will come out to other people, circumstances, and events. But when you choose to now feel and want to say, I want to reprogram my subconscious mind, I do not want these results anymore. I want better. I am deserving of much better. I can change this. And you can. You're an infinite being with infinite potential. You're not pre-programmed to only behave this way, to only have to accept the way your life is right now. It will only remain so if you allow it to. People with pains, chronic illnesses, is usually the cause of a chronic thought. You have to start thinking of wellness, even when the five senses, excuse me, even when the five senses are telling you different. You're feeling bad. When we're feeling sick, that's when the guard is down, our mental guard, and we'll start proclaiming things like, I am weak. I am ill. It just keeps progressing, feeling more weak, feeling more ill. Go the opposite route. Go the opposite route. Despite how sick that you may feel, proclaim, I am well. I am strong. I am healthy. And you will see a much faster recovery time. Thoughts do become things. And affirmations in the external world, which may be assumed as fact, the origin is always still thought. This is where everything comes. Make no mistake, it's not about sitting down and just thinking happy thoughts. If you're thinking this is just about sitting down and thinking happy thoughts, you're gravely mistaken. But this is where it all starts. It starts with thinking. Not many people do that. We think we're thinking, but we're just performing daily mental trivia. Appointments, I got to go here, I got to go there. I know what's for dinner tonight. I am the one that has to make everything, put it together. What am I going to have? I got to do this. We're just mental trivia all day without really sitting down and thinking. When was the last time you sat with yourself, started writing, expressing yourself? This is what we're here for, to express ourselves. We're the highest form of creation. This is what God gave us. God gave us the powerful gifts of our mental faculties, the higher mental faculties. Made us in the image and the likeness. We think the image and the likeness is his body, and we've been confused ever since. What we were inherited with is these mental faculties. That is the likeness. We have the same creative powers and abilities. We're the co-creators with this one mind. You know this when you think of a dear friend. I had it happen today. I was thinking of a great dear friend, work colleague, thought of him yesterday. I decided I need to reach out because I'm thinking of them. That frequency of thought. But guess who beat me to the punch? She called me up. reached out, messaged me. And I says, so funny. I was just thinking of you. These are not coincidences. She received the frequency. Everything is on a frequency, a level of vibration. You're a mass of energy moving at a very high speed of vibration. If I was to call you on my phone right now, I dial your telephone number. It's only going to call you. It's not going to call anyone else. It's just that frequency. This is all around us, folks. But we just don't get it. We just take it all for granted. It may just sound very silent right now. But there's music playing in this room. How so? It's so silent, Dave. If I was to take my AM FM transmitter right now, and if I was to put it on 94 HJY FM, we will suddenly now hear the music, hear the DJ. Wasn't there before? It's always there. That transmission tower is giving out that frequency. My AM FM transmitter picked that up. I just had to dial it in. And there it is. And so is life. But we have to choose to dial into the frequency that we want. We think we want prosperity, healthy relationships, self-love. But are we dialed into it? Is that the images that you have of yourself? That is what's possible for you. You wanted 94 HJY FM, but because you're thinking different, you're thinking of limitation, you're on the FM. You're not on 94 HJY. You're on 104.1, wondering why I can't get to 94.1. You have to dial into it mentally. You have to be there. Thoughts become things. They will harden into facts. All of your mind is part of the superconscious mind. Impressing the superconscious mind is done through the imagination. Your imagination is the direct link. Your subconscious mind is the direct link to the universe, to God. Use your beautiful imagination. Use it to sit with yourself tonight and decide that I'm going to change my mental programming. I'm no longer going to settle for what other people told me that I am. You inherited beliefs that were from somebody else. Most of what you even believe right now has nothing to do with what you truly feel. You inherited it from someone else. Accept your real inheritance. Choose to use your higher mental faculties that you were gifted with. Choose to accept your inheritance to be the creative being that you are. And you will see it all clothe itself all around you. You have to be consistent. This is not something that you do for a couple days. And then, well, Dave, I tried this positive thinking business and just isn't for me. You have to have loyalty. You have to have faith in yourself, loyalty to yourself. Dave, how long do I think of this? How long do I hold this in my mind? Until you see the physical form, until you see this energy come out into its physical equivalent. Your subconscious mind is the most powerful, magnificent part of you. It's where all your beliefs rest, your self-image. It's the emotional mind of you, is why we go crazy when we get triggered, when we're given false information on the outside, and you may act just a little crazy. You may act very emotional because that experience was very identical to an experience you had in the past, and it triggers you. The other person may not know what the hell is going on, but you equate it to a past experience. Remember that all thought that you have is a mere recycled experience. Stop and think. Sit down with yourself. I could go on and on about this. I hope this gave you information on how you can change, because you can be, do, and have anything you want. You can reprogram your subconscious mind. You're a powerful being that can do anything. Search out others. Only be around those who encourage you, that put no limitations on you, that do not judge you. Be only around those that want to see you succeed. Be a part of only any activities that support new ideas, that support your new endeavors. Do a social media cleanup. If there are people that are so negative, unfriend them. Why do you have them there? Limit TV use. When television first came out, it was referred to as the idiot box. We only had radios. Before radios, nothing. We had to entertain ourselves. Can you entertain yourself? Can you sit there and create? Can you sit there and think of what you want to do? You have an idea of how you want to see 2020 play out? Write it down. Get excited. Make a commitment to yourself. I'm going to end this tonight, but I do want to thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Leave your comments or message me direct if you have any questions, if you want to go deeper into this type of material, deeper on achieving your goals and the good that you desire, the good that you are worthy of. You are worthy only of what you decide to be. You will get either your cursings or your blessings. But all around the world, thank you again for joining me tonight on the replay. I do look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Namaste. Have a great night.